Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a brand new episode of LEGO Jurassic World Custom Dinos. And with that in mind, of course, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys are having a fantastic day. If you guys enjoyed today's episode of Custom Dinos, just like you did with the last episode, please don't forget to leave a like. It really does help out a ton. And you guys were really, and I mean super ultra awesome about the last episode and you really enjoyed it, so thank you so very much for doing so. And of course, if you have any ideas for custom dinos or your own custom dino that you would like to share, you can always use the comments section right below this video to let me know of those, such as, for example, today we had one that was actually shared by Michael Davison, who sent in a Jar Jar Binks Dilophosaurus. And I really like the Dilophosaurus choice because I think that works in general as a choice for Jar Jar because of the ears and everything, so a pretty good choice indeed. Now let's get to actually seeing what it looks like. Is it this one? No, I completely forgot where the Dilo is. Why can't I see the Dilo? Oh, there you are. Alright, Dilophosaurus. By the way, I know that the Terradon or Terradon is not called Terradon. I just keep calling it that. I apologize, and I'm sorry if it upsets so many of you. So, with that in mind, let's get to some customization work here, and let's do this thing, shall we? Alright, so we're going for C, C, and C. Okay, not too shabby. Kind of looks a little bit like Jar Jar already, oddly enough, which is pretty interesting. Then we have C, G, A. Then G, C, A. Okay, interesting. I like the color choices. So far, so good. Especially if you've ever seen that theory about Jar Jar being like a Sith Lord and everything. This is pretty cool. All right. Whoa. This is really well done. Like, seriously. This is really excellently done. Gotta admit, you did a pretty good job already. I can tell. All right. Let's see. AAG. That's good. I like the ears and everything. The details there. It works quite well. Then we have G, C, T. There it is. Not too shabby. All right. Interesting with the red. I think it might be a little bit too much red, but at the same time, you know what? It might actually fit in just fine. And then finally, we have G, T, G. All right. Not too shabby, my friend. So we'll see what this dino looks like once we actually take it out from this little customizer and actually into the wild world. So that should be pretty fun and hopefully exciting. But we're not done with our Star Wars stuff. In fact, we're not even done with potential Sith type characters, because we will be also assembling the one, the only Mr. Kylo Ren. You guys asked for it. You were like, hey, do a Kylo Ren design. So that is exactly what we'll be working on today. By the way, don't forget, if you want to be featured like Michael's dinosaur was today, all you have to do is leave the name of the dinosaur, so the actual dinosaur that you used, and then on top of that, don't forget to also go ahead and leave the dino DNA itself. So with that in mind, let's get a rocking rolling. I think that I'm going to go with the Pachycephalosaurus, mainly because I feel like it fits the helmet kind of look that Kylo is wearing, if we're going for the helmeted look. If we're not going for the helmeted look, I think that the better choice would be a Velociraptor. Now, I know that some people would say, well, you should choose a T-Rex or something a little bit more menacing, like a Spinosaurus or the Indominus Rex or something. But I feel like this kind of dinosaur almost fits better with Kylo, because when you think of Kylo, you think of somebody who is a lot more bark than bite, especially in The Force Awakens, and I don't really want to talk about it any more than that in order to not spoil things, but he is obviously still in his kind of maturing stage. He's not a huge menace yet, so maybe Kylo in like episode 8 or somewhere in the further Star Wars canon, then we could go ahead and use like a T-Rex or something a bit more fitting for him. But with that in mind, let's get a rocking, let's get a rolling. We definitely have to pick something that is still gonna keep him a carnivore, because I feel like when you think of Kylo, you'd think more of a carnivorous type character, not as much of a herbivore, sorry. So I'd really love if we could add some teeth to the Pachycephalosaurus, because my favorite look for like a Kylo type character would be on the Velociraptor, like in terms of just the way that the head looks, those teeth right there, because I feel it's like perfectly Kylo in terms of just being this how dare you do this, and blah blah blah, and having this temper tantrum. So I think that works really well for Kylo, but at the same time I think that the Pachycephalosaurus is more fitting because of the helmeted look. So let's go with that one. Let's see what we're going to do here. We got the regular Spinosaurus head, which is actually not too shabby. But I think we're going to go with the Tyrannosaurus Rex one, because I think it's the most fitting as far as having, well, Yeah, I think this one's the most fitting, honestly, because it has that smooth dome. So I think that will work quite well. Then for the body, we can either go with the regular Pachy, the Ankylocephalus, or the Pachycephalosaurus, the Ankylosaurus, of course, Spino, or Stago. I'm trying to think. I think that the Stago might be the best of the bunch, honestly. But at the same time, Ankylosaurus is kind of cool too, to give you those spikes and stuff. But I feel like that'd be more like Darth Maul. So we'll go with the Stago, because I think it'll look good once we color it in and everything. Plus, it'll give us that kind of an idea of a little bit of a messy character like his Crossblade is. So I think that'll work. All right. So for the tail, I'm pretty sure that I know what we're going with, and that's this right here, because obviously it kind of simulates the crossblade look with the spikes sticking out to the side. It's a little bit too many spikes, but I think that's okay. All right, so coloring should be very, very easy because it's predominantly a black design. I do want to introduce a little bit of red with the... ooh, that looks pretty good. That looks really, really cool. Just because, of course, his lightsaber is red, so I think that that should be pretty cool. Now, we'll see how this... Whoa, that looks kind of cool, actually. But I do want to maybe add a little bit of dark gray or something like that, just to break up all the blacks. Or maybe we could go this red and then this black. Let's see, would that look better? Ooh. I think that looks a lot better, actually. I think that looks pretty awesome. Now, as far as design, I really like the default one, but let's take a look at some of the others. We've got the cow print right there. There's the giraffe print. We got a little bit of leopard print, pixels, polka dots, speckled, stars, and then, of course, the tiger stripes, which are not too shabby either. But I think that the default one is just the most cool one because it kind of looks like a complete mess, and I really do like that. I think it turns out quite cool. So there's the Dino DNA for our Kylo Ren inspired Pachycephalosaurus. Let me know if you guys want to see maybe a different dino done up as Kylo, or a different dino done up as Kylo. I said that right. On an upcoming episode, that would be great. And of course, if you have any other ideas for Star Wars characters that you would like to see, leave those in the comments section below. But we're not done yet because we always customize 3 dinos per episode of Custom Dinos. So let's get into our final dinosaur of the day. And that's actually going to be a flying one, and one that we haven't done in a while, and that's the Terradon. So there were several different comments asking, hey, do an Ender Dragon inspired dino. So essentially, that is, of course, the final boss, quote-unquote kind of thing, if you even can call it that, in Minecraft. If you've ever made it that far in the game, you know what I'm talking about. There's an Ender Dragon, you battle him, or her, I'm not even sure which one it is, but you battle it, and it's a pretty epic creature. So, essentially, I thought that, for the most part, if we just went ahead and then customized it on the basis of the design, it would just basically be this, and then more of this, and then that's it. But I feel like that would be too plain, so I think we're going to have to introduce a little bit of purple into it as well. So we'll get to that in just a moment, though. First, let's see if we want to customize the head in any way, shape, or form. I'm trying to remember the face of the Ender Dragon specifically. I feel like this one works the best, but I also like the Dilophosaurus because it's got like a bigger... just a larger head. I don't think that, from what I remember, the Ender Dragon's head is not so like pointy down like that. It's a little bit more square, of course, because that's Minecraft. So I feel like the Dilophosaurus one probably works better. Plus, if we use the Dilophosaurus one, we get a long-range weapon where you can do that Dilophosaurus spit attack. So I think that this one just fits a little bit better for what we're going for. So we'll go with that. Then for the torso, obviously, we can either go skeleton or Terradon. We're going to go with Terradon, of course. And then coloring. So the first coat, I think, should be black. I think that's the most fitting. Second coat is where we could start messing around. Maybe not. I don't know. I feel like this is too much purple. So I think this might have to stay black as well. And then with the third coat, I guess, is where we get to... Ooh. All right. I really like the way that that purple looks. I think it usually has a little bit more of a pink color like this, but I think either way, both of those look fantastic. I mean, look at that. That looks cool, and then that looks really cool too. So let's try that, but then we'll also, of course, have our patterns to look through. So we have cow print, we have the default print, a little bit of giraffe print, leopard print, pixels, Pixels is probably the one that makes the most sense, honestly, because, of course, we're talking about a Minecraft character. Polka dots, speckled stars, and then tiger stripes. I really think that my favorites though are the defaults, followed by tiger stripes, and then probably pixels. I'm not sure that pixels really fits in because I don't remember the Ender Dragon having this much purple on it. Now, what we could do is maybe change it from this purple to like an actual like deeper purple, and I think that looks pretty good. I just want to go with the pixels theme because, of course, Minecraft is all like pixelated and has those like little pixel art on it, so I think it's more fitting in that regard. So there's our Dino DNA for our Ender Dragon. Now it is, of course, time to actually see all these dragons or dinosaurs, I should say, in the wild. So we're gonna need to teleport on over to an aviary where we can actually summon these dinos in. So there we are, on to Isla Sorna aviary we go. We'll be able to summon actually the Terradon. Now, before we do that, we do need to take a look at the Jar Jar design plus Kylo. So we'll go ahead and summon those two in first, and then we'll hop on into the aviary and call upon the one and only, the Terradon, that is going to be known as the Endertron. That's not going to work very well. I thought I could make that work. I was like, yeah, that doesn't sound all that great. All right, so let's call upon our first few custom dinos here. So kick things off with, I guess we could start with a Kylo design. So here he is. A lot more red than it really needs to be. I definitely would agree with that. But I feel like if we went fully black or maybe even gray, I feel like the design would be kind of boring in that regard. So I actually think that this is a better choice as a whole. We have a nice little tail whip attack to simulate, of course, the lightsaber that he would have. And I don't know. Just in general, I think that the design comes together very, very, very nicely here. Now let's see. We should have the Dino Roar here. Yep, so as you can see, obviously just like Kylo, a big roar, but not as much of a threat as he would really hope to be. But we also have another design to look to, and that is the custom Dilophosaurus that is known as Jar Jar Binks. This is exceptionally close in terms of color and the way that the ears look. Like, I mean, it looks perfect. Of course, when you actually flutter them up like that, it doesn't look as great, but here it looks great. Like, it looks very, very, very appropriate. And if you ever wanted to see a fight between I guess Kylo and Jar Jar, it can now be a reality. Come on, bring it up. Whoa, okay, well, Jar Jar was slain pretty quickly, so Sith Lord or not, he was taken out of the equation pretty quickly by Kylo Ren. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and summon on in the dino that is the last one for today, and that would be our Ender Terradon. So we need to just walk on over to here. It's been a while since I've summoned a dino over here. We usually summon them in on the Jurassic World one, but here we go. Woohoo! All right, so here we are, Ender Dragon and all. I think this actually looks pretty cool, and this is actually a really good area to summon this guy in because it's all dark and gloomy and everything. It really is almost like the end in Minecraft, you know, where he would just be flying around all these pillars, right? Where you have all the pillars and stuff. So I think that that's pretty appropriate. I think that he looks really, really cool and very, very, very menacing. And I think going with the purple really was smart because, again, just like with Kylo, same case here where a character is predominantly different shades of black and really, really dark colors. And if we didn't really add something to make it pop a little bit, it would have been just very, very, very boring to look at it the same way all the time. So I think that this was actually a pretty good choice. I like the little spin there attack as well. That looks pretty neat and obviously works quite well. We can land here, have a little pounce attack right there. Boom! Which is super cool. And also, of course, we do have our spit attack right there, so you have a long-range weapon as well. So with that in mind, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Custom Dinos. I'll be back next time, and of course, if you guys want to see more Custom Dinos, don't forget to leave a like, and if you have any ideas or suggestions for specific Custom Dinos that you would like to see, don't forget to leave that in the comments section below. As always, guys, have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you guys later. Alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.